Thank you so much, Tsunami. Congratulations to Falcons. Obviously, that interview happened just moments ago. And here at EW Central, I have a very special treat, both on a personal and a professional level. I've been a huge fan of watching Counter-Strike. I grew up watching some of the original 1.6 Source and CSGO teams. And in particular, 2014, 2013, 2014, so by 2018, Virtus.Pro was my personal favorite Counter-Strike team. Pasha, Taz, Neo, Snacks, these are guys that I wanted to emulate. I sucked, I never could. The reason I give such a long-winded introduction is I'm joined here on the central broadcast by Nikolai Petrossian. I don't know if I missed that. Nikolai, CEO for Virtus.Pro. Thank you so much for joining me. I given a brief interview on my love for your team and your org. I want it out there. Could you just tell our viewers at home a little bit about yourself? And obviously, VP, they're going to know, but who are you?
Okay, first of all, thanks for inviting. Pleasure to be here. I have a sport background. I used to work at various digital projects. Then I worked as a PR director for Adidas, the #1 sport
They
brand.
are. It's actually the only sneakers I wear. I love you even more now.
Yeah. And by the way, Adidas is the sponsor of EWC,
Yes.
and some of my colleagues, former colleagues, are involved in this project.
Oh, that is fantastic. Let's talk about EWC very quickly before we move on to some of the other games and some personal feelings. EWC, obviously VP, one of the partner clubs. What do you think of the tournament, the event? I know you've been around esports for a little while. In my opinion, this is one of the first times in a decade, maybe more, we see so many titles together competing under the same roof. What's it like from your perspective, from that of a CEO?
I think this is a totally unique tournament which gives esports fans opportunity to watch all their favorite titles and gives an opportunity to clubs like ours to develop further and to open for themselves new disciplines, new titles, because if not EWC initiative, probably we won't go deep into details of such games like Apex Legends or Overwatch, etc., etc. So basically we were focused on Dota 2 and CS2 or CSGO previously, and that was it.
Yes.
And now we receive that boost of development, and we see that other clubs are also involved, which increases the level of competition.
I mean, it's true. I'm going to bring up some stats. Might sting just a tiny bit. The club championship standings right now, VP are just outside the top 10. 275 points on the cards. I think when you look down this roster, especially under the CS2 banner, G2 Esports, they jumped all the way up to 5th with that victory. We've got Na'Vi in there as well. I mean, these are the clubs in the championships. There is a significant amount of both investment and reward for this club championship. From your perspective as a CEO of one of the clubs, how important was climbing these rankings, being part of the top 16, making a stamp on the first EWC? Hey, we want to be there.
Absolutely, this is sport, and if you participate in any tournament, you want to be the first, or at least to be on top. So for us, it's again an important initiative. Okay, now we have only 275 points, but we still have 6 rosters in various disciplines.
Do you know, I think I've got a graphic for this. Can we take a look at the participating games here for VP? Counter-Strike 2, 3rd, 4th. Dota 2, unfortunately, a little bit more struggling. Let's talk about some of the other disciplines here. Where can we expect things to go well?
Well, our expectations are mainly connected to PUBG PC.
Okay.
Apex.
Yes.
And probably Overwatch because it's a new thing. Previously, Overwatch was only in the US, those franchise leagues, etc. And now we have a European roster, a very good one, and they could be a surprise package.
Ooh, okay.
Hopefully.
I'm looking forward to it. I mean, look, Overwatch is going to be here next week.
Yeah.
I'm in a very privileged position. I get to be the host of this broadcast for the next 5 weeks. Something you said to me just before we went live is like, this feels like the Olympics, all the games. That's literally what's happening. We just had a Dota 2 check-in earlier in the show. We had Team Liquid's coach from PUBG Mobile. Now I get CEO for VP, all the multiple games. I have a question about the G2 series earlier, and a personal one. How is it for you looking at the series, and obviously it was a tough loss, still placed, top 4 at EWC, which is great. But specifically, because Taz and Snacks were on the other end of the roster, you can ignore this video. This is for the viewers, not for you. Okay. I'm not trying to rub salt in the wound. But how is it for you? How close were you to, those particular players that arguably made their name under your flag, and watching that game here, but also this amazing event?
After the game, all G2 players and their coach, they were busy with media stuff, etc. But later on, I've met Taz, and I congratulated him. Hopefully, I see Snacks as well at the hotel, probably. They are VP legends. Yes. They are part of our history, and we are proud that we are still in connection with them. Could be better because, because they are still under contract with other organizations, so we cannot use that much in our media and things like that. But again,
listen, the old people, not even old, it's 10 years. We remember. Like for me, Taz, Pasha, they're VP forever. They've got a different shirt on now, but that's where they come from. What are the games you like to either play or watch? I know you don't have a lot of time, I'm aware, but what would be, this is personal now, you're not the boss anymore.
CS2.
Just it? Yeah? Easy?
By a huge distance.
Yes. Yeah. We've got some CS2 fans in the background. Nikolai, I think, look, that's the main thing. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Maybe something that we haven't got to yet, or a message to the fans?
First of all, I would again say thank you for inviting me, for having me here. Many thanks to EWC, to His Royal Highness Prince Faisal and the team which prepared this event, to Ralph and his team, Hans and other guys whom we are also would want to say thank you. This is the first step.
Yeah.
The future is bright.
Yes.
And it couldn't even be better. And a few years ago, during COVID and that so-called esports winter that came after COVID, I think many esports organizations wouldn't even imagine that we will have such type of opportunity to develop our businesses, to develop esports.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, look, that's fantastic. I think the last thing I'll ask you to do is just maybe a message to the fans. And then do you have anything else you want to do before we finish the interview?
I brought Virtus.Pro merch, which we...
Do you want to pass that to me? I have 2 hats.
Okay.
Should we look at this? Okay, let me grab
specifically produced this for this event.
Right.
This is a T-shirt.
Okay.
Very minimalistic one.
Okay, I get
Please open.
Yes, okay.
Virtus.Pro in English, and in Arabic it means Yalla, which is translated go ahead, which is like Virtus.Pro, go ahead.
So where can they buy this, Nikolai? Let's get you on camera and see.
At merchandise store, like near the arena.
Yes. Oh, that's amazing. I'm keeping this one. You're not getting this one back.
Absolutely. This is for you. 100%.
The very, very last thing, quite sincerely, there's obviously some VP fans that'll be disappointed with the 3rd, 4th, but still a great performance. What do you say to everyone else watching VP, watching the new rosters, watching the rest of the games?
First of all, we are now back to where we belong as a Tier 1 global esports organization. When it comes to CS2, we are in the middle of the process of developing a new team. This was the first tournament for our new coach. Things are changing, and probably our fans are seeing that. So the future is bright for VP, especially in our beloved CS2.
Absolutely the case. Congratulations on the semi-finals. Best of luck for the remainder of the games. We're going to go to an ad break. When we come back, we've got a Dota influencer from Japan joining us. We're going to play some quiz shows. And I would like to say just thank you once again to Nikolai.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you on the other side of the break in a few minutes.